Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about my 2025 planner and journal lineup. So here it is, I guess, surprise. But as you can see, I only have two books here, which is probably less than you are used to seeing from me. But I have thought long and hard about it, and I am very confident in the books that I have chosen to use for the next year. And let's just jump in and talk about them. So I'm going to move this top one to the side, and we're going to start with this one here on the bottom because you guys have seen this notebook before. But this is basically my everything book. I don't really have a name for it. I want to call it a bullet journal, but I know that that's not like technically true. It just doesn't feel right to call it a bullet journal, but it is just a blank notebook that I put anything and everything that I want to do related to paper in here. So I plan in here, I journal in here, both long form and creatively. Everything goes in here basically. So this is the A5 Hobonichi lined notebook. This was a new product that they introduced during the 2025 launch, and I sort of picked it up on a whim. It was not originally what I had intended to get from the launch, but I did see it and I was interested in it. So I did go ahead and grab one just to see. And then I pretty much instantly fell in love with it. So let me open it up just to show you what a blank page looks like. But here it is. It's a lined notebook, but it is not your like everyday lined paper that you see in America. I'm not sure about other countries, but at least in America, this is not what you would think of when you think of a lined notebook. So as you can see, there are these little dashes in between the lines that sort of segment it out almost into a dot grid, but not a dot grid. It's like a half grid, if you know what I'm trying to say here. But I saw this and thought that it would be the perfect notebook to use for my journal because I actually prefer to long form journal in lined notebooks. I love the nostalgic feeling of journaling in lined notebooks. It brings me back to when I was like 12 and like journaling with like a like sparkly gel pen that was like pink, and I don't know, something about lined notebooks really does it for me. I think it's easier for me to journal in lines rather than in dot grid, but I also do draw out some spreads in here. So like let me flip to the current week. So like as you can see, I do vertical weekly memory keeping slash quasi planning in here. So I do like to have the dot grid or the normal grid for that purpose. So when I saw that this sort of combined lined pages with grid pages, I was like, I need to try that immediately. And I went ahead and picked one up. And then my old Leuchtturm 1917, which you guys have also seen on this channel, ended, and I immediately wanted to jump into this and try it out. And you guys, I'm in love. It is honestly the perfect notebook for me. I am obsessed with it. So I started this when my other notebook ended, so I picked it up around the middle of October, and I am almost 100 pages in. It comes with 288 pages, so I expect this journal to last me around 2 or 3 more months. So like around March, I'll probably be moving into a new notebook. And as you can see, as I sort of flip through, I do everything. Like I said, everything in this journal. It's kind of hard to explain, but maybe if I flip through it a little bit more, you'll see kind of what I'm referring to. But you see, it's a lot of long form journaling, a lot of lettering, creative journaling, pictures, memory keeping, that sort of thing happening in here. And I have learned about myself that I am a one book type of person, but specifically like one book at that very specific moment, but everything in my life needs to go in that one book. And then when that one book is over, I get a new book and I start over. So rather than segmenting out pieces of my life and having an entire year in one book, but also multiple books, I'd rather just have multiple books and know exactly where I need to be looking to find information about November. So, like, you can see I have tabs here. Anything that I felt worth documenting in my life from November is in here. I don't have multiple books. I have to think about where I might have put that information or anything like that. It's just all here. So each book is only going to last me a couple months, but I've just realized about myself that I don't really care about having the entire year in one book. That's not something that I care so deeply about that I'm willing to sacrifice other things for it, like chunkiness. I just think it's a lot easier to do it this way for my brain, and that's what works really well for me and has been working really well for the past year. So that's what I'm going to continue doing in 2025. So that is my main book, but I also want to show you the next book that I'm going to be moving into after I finish this because I already have it. So I thought, why not show it to you guys? And that is the 2025 Hobonichi Day Free. So this is what I originally wanted to pick up from the Hobonichi launch this year. And then this was sort of like an add-on afterthought. And while I absolutely love this, I also have this now. So I will be moving into this after this notebook just because I have it and I want to use it. But if I hadn't purchased this, I would 100% be moving into another one of these notebooks. I hope they never take this product out of their line for the next coming years. And if they announce that they're taking it away, I'll probably end up having to get a million of these because, like I said, it's just the perfect notebook in my opinion. So I'm really, really happy I found this notebook and this system, and I'm going to be continuing it into 2025 and hopefully beyond. So that is this notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side and we can start talking about the other notebook in my system. So I've been seeing a lot of people with multi-year diaries, whether that be the Midori 5-year diary, the Hobonichi 5-year diaries. I've been seeing a lot of them and I love the idea of them. However, they do intimidate me to a point, and just adding another book is also just something that's been really intimidating since I've been so content in just having one book. But then I came across this, guys. I saw Yoseka post a reel about the Midori Oji-san 30-year anniversary collection. So the multi-year diaries that I feel like Midori is most known for, at least to me, are their 5-year diaries, which are very similar to the Hobonichi 5-year diaries, except they just don't have that extra blank page for every day. You just kind of have the horizontally segmented 5 years. And I think they also have a 3-year version that's almost exactly the same way. But this one is different. So you can see it's very thin. And you're like, how can you fit 3 years in such a thin notebook? So like, this is sort of a bad example because I have fluffed this up so much. But this is a 288-page Hobonichi like Tomoe River paper notebook. And this is a like 3-year Midori paper notebook. And you can see like they're relatively, like if I were to have like picked up a new notebook, they're relatively similar. And the Midori paper is thicker than Tomoe River paper. And that's because the actual layout of this is very different from your traditional 5 or 3-year journals. And that's because it looks like this. And this is what really got me intrigued by this when I saw it on Yoseka's website. And that's because they do not give you a lot of space for every day. And all they give you are basically 3 bullet points. And the bullet points are his hat, which is so cute. And I think like every couple pages, yep, there's a little like Oji-san character like drawn into the design of the notebook, which is so cute. Like I said, I love him so much. So I love this little like added detail. But you can see the layout here is essentially just 3 bullet points and a teeny tiny bit of space for extra writing or photos or anything. And I was really intrigued by this because this seems so easy. And the 3 bullet points sort of give you a launching point if you're not sure what you need to write about. Like some days I feel like recapping the day is super easy, especially if you had some sort of event happening. But on those days that are just quote unquote boring, which is a lot of days for me personally, because my life is like very routine with work and everything like that, I thought that this would be a great jumping off point because I could do like gratitude or 3 songs I listened to, 3 things, I don't know, that I saw that day or heard that day. And as you can see, it is undated. So you go ahead and fill in the year. And I was watching Linda of Linda Loves Creating's 2025 lineup video where she sort of made her own 5-year journal. But she had mentioned that she started it on her birthday so that it's like 5 years of her rather than just, 5 years that a lot of people do, especially who have Hobonichis because they're just dated for you and they start on January 1st. And since this is undated, I thought that it would be pretty cool if I started this on my birthday and then this would be the next 3 years of my life. And then it would end on my 30th birthday, which I felt was just way too serendipitous to pass up. So that's what I'm going to do. So on my birthday, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start on December 11th, 2024. I'm going to finish out, the rest of December, and then go to January at the start of 2025 and just continue this as 2025. So I hope I'm explaining that in a way that makes sense. In my head, it makes sense, and I'm hoping that to you guys it will too. But each year, so in this case, for the next upcoming year, it'll be this top row will be from December 11th through December 10th. And then on December 11th, 2025, I will jump down to the second row and start here and go around that way. If that doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments, and I will definitely try to explain it a little bit better. But I am super excited to use this. I think it's definitely an easier approach than traditional 5-year journals that can be a little bit intimidating. So I'm hoping that because it's so easy and inviting, that it won't be like a burden or a chore to add it alongside this journal, which I'm already committed to being in every day. So just 3 bullet point things a day is something that does seem achievable and something that I do feel like I'll be able to commit to. Plus, it's only 3 years, so it's not a 5-year journal. So I will only be committed to it for 3 years, which is also something that makes it a little bit more approachable in my mind. But yeah, fingers crossed that I can actually stick with this. So yeah, those are my 2 books that I plan on using for the upcoming year. She is a small journal lineup, but she is mighty, and I am very excited to honestly just continue using these because I've already been using this system and have already been in this book for a couple months. So this will just be continuing, and then this will be starting in a couple days on my birthday. And then hopefully these will take me through 2025 and it'll be a great year. So let me know down below what you guys plan on using and if you have any questions for me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.